Hi, how are you? I hope you're keeping well. Today I'm going to go through some of my favourite tans of the year. I tan probably twice a week, and to be honest with you, in the last couple of months I've been a judge for a beauty awards, and one of my categories was a tanning category. So I tried lots of different tans, and there are some really different ones this year versus other years. This particular awards I've been a judge for loads of years now. And when you fill in the form if they ask you to be a judge for a beauty awards, you'll fill in a form and you'll specify, let's say if you have any commercial partnerships, that would mean that in that category, you'd be a conflict of interest. Or I would have to say things that I can't use because I've got rosacea, so they'll avoid putting me with anything like that, you know. And then at the bottom they say, is there anything you really would love to do? And if we can find a way to make it work, sorry, my phone's pinging up. If we can find a way to make it work, we'll put you there. And I always say, please, can I do the tans? Because tanning is first of all, it's something I do, as I say, multiple times a week. It's something I spend a lot of money on. And I think it's something that when you find one that you love, it's not one that you stray from. So it's always lovely to have the chance to try them all. And essentially I was thinking about I am going to do a couple of Christmas gift guide type things, but I think in general it's just nice to recap the year with a few categories. And things like tan, I probably haven't done a video about in ages because I'm just using the same tan, but I actually have changed loads, so this will be lovely. So I'm going to start with two that I always use. Maybe I'll put this in as well, actually. I'm going to show you things that I always use that I really, really recommend, and then a few newer ones that I definitely think you'll like. So the first one, the Isle of Paradise, the yellow jar mousse. This is my favourite tan for if you want a full tan, and it is really quick. I still sleep in this, but it's an express mousse that I think you can go after 3 hours if I double check this. Yes, a deep bronze after 3 hours. I personally tend to put it on before bed, sleep in it, and away I go. But it is lovely to know that if you were going out in the evening, you could just put it on through the day and let it be working away. Now, funnily enough, Jules Van Hep, the original founder of Isle of Paradise, lovely, lovely guy. If you aren't already following him, he is brilliant. He's very much... he's all about making you feel good. So he's no longer with Isle of Paradise now, but he's always been someone that kind of uses beauty as a channel to make people feel great. And he's doing more of that now. He's a really lovely one to follow and just have in your everyday orbit. He used to say that he was a morning tanner and he got it done in the morning and then it was done for the day and developing as he was pottering about. I'm quite a sweaty person, so I'm more of an evening tanner. But what I will do so that I can be bothered to do it is as soon as I know I'm not going anywhere for the evening or I'm off my calls or whatever, I'm laughing. Anyone I work with is going to be like, you've never got any makeup on your calls. But let's say if I had makeup on for the day and then, I was finished, I'll get it on as early as possible in the evening, because by about 8 o'clock, I can't be asked doing that tan and it's not going to get done. So maybe 6-ish, 5-ish, get the tan on, sit in it for the night, great. Love that one. This as well, I think if you're really, really pale, you'll get this. For me, I am translucent white with pink bits because of the rosacea. Love that for me. It takes a lot for a tan to really cling to me, and something that might look really deep on another person will barely come out on me. If you're a pale, pale, pale girl, you're going to see this after one coat. It really does a brilliant, brilliant job. Now, that one would be... I've kind of been on a bit of a tan detox. I feel like hopefully you can see. I'm more of a gradual tan person now than a full tan. That's been something I've kind of eased into over the last few months. The thing with me is, as I say, I'm not just pale, I'm pink. So I'm bright white with bright pink knees, bright pink elbows, that kind of thing. And I feel like having a little layer of tan just softens the edges between the two. The best gradual tan, which completely breaks the bank, but then it lasts for ages, is this Gatineau Golden Glow. It's absolutely brilliant. I would say, so that's 400 ml. I would say if you use this twice a week and you do your whole body, I get about 4 or 5 minutes out of one of these. So it is really expensive, but if you're tanning a lot, it's worth it. It's really lovely. It's very creamy. You can't get it wrong. Even if you're not looking, even if you're tired and you've just thrown it on, it's great. Lovely and hydrating. Your skin feels lovely after it, and it just gives you a lovely, subtle, gradual colour, but you can still see it and you feel like you've got something on. That's my favourite kind of day-to-day one. For my face, I tend 9 times out of 10 to use the Isle of Paradise tanning drops. You mix these into your favourite moisturiser. So one of the #1 questions I get with face tan is, does it exacerbate my rosacea? For me personally, no, because I'm mixing these in with the likes of my La Roche-Posay moisturiser, my Medicate moisturiser. So I've got my rosacea safe moisturiser on, and I'm just adding some drops to it. I've just finished a green bottle. That's the one I usually use, but then I saw this in the clearance for £2, so I'm sure you can appreciate, because that's, I think it's like maybe just shy of £20 normally, so they're a bit lighter than the ones I usually use, but obviously I went for the £2 bottle for the next purchase. They are 3 that I just can't recommend enough. Love. These are newer ones that I found this year that I really, really like and rate for different reasons. And these are like the new contenders. I feel like this is a good time to start with the Bare by Vogue Gradual Tan. I would say this is the best affordable alternative I've found to the Gatineau. Absolutely lovely, a really lovely gradual tan. And do you know what's nice about this one? It has a guide colour. Sorry, that's rattling away. This has a guide colour, so instantly when you put it on you can see where you're going. I should have said the Gatineau doesn't have a guide colour, but you don't ever go wrong with it. The Isle of Paradise Mousse does have a guide colour. Love that. Really, really lovely gradual tan. Only a little bit will spread really far. Absolutely think it's great. Nice, affordable alternative to the Gatineau. This is one of the most unusual tanning textures I've ever come across, and I am like, this is very new to me. It's one of the best tans I've ever used. I can't believe how good it is. I'm so sorry. I'm in a new hen do group. You know what happens when you're in a new hen do group. I mean, I'll have to, like, I'll try and keep the eye contact with you, but all sorts is coming through. Vicky's hen, I am very excited for it. I haven't had a good hen do in a while. Anyway, the big reveal. This Bali Body Clear Self Tanning Gel. Oh my God. Do you ever remember, if you're a tanner, the James Read Sleep Mask Tan? One of my favourite formulas of all time. Unfortunately now no longer with us. This gel reminds me of that. It's a very cooling, cold to apply gel. You want to get this on straight after a hot shower because it's freezing. However, gel slurps straight in. The tiniest bit of it spreads really far. Because it's clear, it's designed not to stain your sheets, which has been my experience. It instantly soaks in. It gives you the most golden tan in just one coat. I actually can't believe it. I put it on my legs the first time I used it, in particular when I was in the throes of the testing. I was doing different body parts, so like what, because you're not tanning every single night, and also you need to kind of I would leave it for longer between the next tan, because you want to see how they fade off, because that's the thing with tans. My sister is texting me now. Let me see if I can put the do not disturb on via the laptop. I'm so sorry, it is all kicking off, and I'm trying to do as many videos as I can this week because I'm actually at home. So while I've got the flexibility, we're on do not disturb. Thank God for that. This video is bedlam. Part of me thinks I'm just gonna have to start again, but another part of me thinks like I'm not saving anyone's life or like an A&E surgeon. I've got a bit distracted and we'll all come back together. Yes, I did my legs with the gel. Your legs, when you're as pale as me, can take like 2 layers for the colour to show, and it really doesn't come up strong. Absolutely great. Really deep colour. It's lasted really well. Like the size of that as well for the money, absolutely fantastic. Really, really love that. I think in particular, I'm a bit gutted I hadn't been using that through the summer, because it's a really lovely one for like more of a lightweight. It's not one that necessarily you feel super moisturised after, whereas it's not that you don't feel moisturised, but like the Gatineau, for example, you feel like you've put a body lotion on as well as got your tan. But a brilliant, brilliant formula that I really liked. Now, speaking of James Read, and if you'll excuse me, I've got some sort of cat hair like I always do. This is one of the loveliest unusual textures also. So basically James has got his own new brand, Self Glow by James Read. Really lovely luxury packaging, and he wanted a slightly different proposition for this brand in that it is just as skincare heavy as it is tan. So he wants you to see all of these benefits in your face and body skin, as well as having your colour. Lovely. This is the Tinted Tan Serum. It's actually for the body. Now, when I saw the size of this at first, I was thinking I'm going to get through that in no time. But actually, the tiniest bit spreads really far. And this comes with a guide colour as well, so you can see where it's going. It gives you the loveliest silky tan. It feels really nice. It's not sticky. You definitely feel the difference of how he has put so much skincare into this, and that it's like a skincare first kind of proposition. James is one of the nicest people you'll ever meet in your life. He's a really lovely guy, and also his previous brand, that was my ride or die before it was, he basically phased that one out to bring in this new one. And that's one thing actually, years and years ago, I remember we were at a dinner and I think he'd phased out a few ranges and bought in new things, and he always says that like if he knows there's a different technology or a way to do things in a better way, he would always rather stop, pause, put that to one side and bring in the new thing. And I love anyone that thinks like that. One thing I'll be really honest about as a potential, this was a barrier to me trying this before now. I have found some of the language quite confusing about this brand. And the reason I want to flag that, I adore James and I think he does the best formulas. I want to flag it to you just to be really honest that if that's putting you off as well, look past it and get this because it's great. But I did find it confusing. The Tinted Tan Serum it's going to last. It's not like, because I was thinking, because it is explained as it provides an instant skin radiance, long-term hydration and lasting flawless glow. Because of the word instant, I was thinking, is this just going to wash off? And then because it's that bit more of an investment, I didn't necessarily want something that would wash off that quickly. It lasts, it's, you know, staying put, fading off beautifully. So just kind of ignore the language and remember this is James, the best, loveliest formulator, really lovely natural looking tans, and he has like lots of other things, facial tanning drops, mist, beautiful. 2 more, technically 3, a few more things to show you. This brand, I think fair play, because I just love this pivot. Have you ever tried this brand, Skinny Tan? I always used to see it and just think, what a ridiculous name for a product. Like, I just think in 2025, I don't believe in a lot of these body things that are meant to do things. I don't think we should be calling something Skinny Tan. I just really couldn't get on board with it at all. So this Skinny Tan Body Glow, I ran out of my Gradual. This is a good while ago now, and I knew I had this and I thought I'll give it a go. It's fantastic. And I was so annoyed because I just thought, I'm not going to sit here and say, get this skinny tan thing. But in my head, I was thinking, it's actually great. It's a lovely, hydrating, quite milky, slippy Gradual tan. And unlike lots of Gradual tans, it gives you quite a deep colour. It's not quite as deep as a full self tan, but it's deep enough that, because this is the thing with the Graduals, it's all very well having a Gradual tan, but you do want to see some colour, and so many of them you barely see anything, in particular when you're as pale as me. So in my head, and as well, they're like vegan friendly, cruelty free, like they have everything going for them except this silly name. So I loved that, you know, keeping that to myself. Fair play to them, they have rebranded to Skin and Tan, and I think it's a really lovely mark of reading the room. I mean, I don't know, they could have all different reasons for rebranding, but I just think that's a great thing that they've done that. And I also think it's a really clever, you know, for them, you're not having to completely rebrand something you've built after all this time. You can still recognise that it's the same formulas if you've been using them that you know and trust. And I just think that's wicked, and I really like that they've done that. Now, the Wonder Serum was one of the ones that I had in my judging category this year. This is a really, really lovely tan also. This comes out with a guide colour. It's kind of like a gel consistency, very silky, very lightweight. It doesn't feel sticky, gives a very golden tan also. Like if you think that's medium to dark, the medium gives a gorgeous one, never mind the medium to dark. It has this very slight pearliness to it. It's nothing that feels too shiny, but it just gives you a bit of like a healthy glow. Really, really lovely tan, and fair play to them for the tweak. We love that for them. Now, tanning companions, a few honourable mentions that actually I'm just thinking out loud, I don't have them next to me. If it's a tan that you moisturise before, which most of these would be, well, a lot of them. Sorry, I've got one more tan before I come back to prepping. The Gatineau Gradual Tan, they've got a face version of that. So these are the Golden Glow Gradual Tan Face Serum. It is a lightweight serum. It's not in any way like a moisturiser. So I personally would put my moisturiser on first and then actually layer this over the top. I don't know if that's what you're meant to do, but that's how I've used this and seen great results. In terms of a facial tanner, probably one of my favourites I've ever used. It's also an investment. So like if you want a treat, I would say it's worth the money like the other one, but there are more affordable facial tanners, but it's another one that you can't really go wrong with. Gorgeous. To prep for your tan, two honourable mentions: the Clinique Moisture Surge Body Lotion, absolutely gorge. Lovely lightweight lotion, gives you a lovely silky finish and helps to give you an even tan. The Dr. Jart Ceramidin Body Lotion, gorgeous. That bit richer. If you're particularly dry, that will make sure we're going over any dry patches with no problems. To get it off, I've got an African shower net because I found everyone using them on TikTok and I bought one of my best purchases of the year. This is going to run out in like less than 60 seconds, but we're nearly there. Dr. Sam's Flawless Body Cleanser. This is like a gel consistency and it doesn't lather or anything, but it has acids in here to nibble away at dead skin, give you the loveliest silky feel to your body. But it's also great for helping to nibble away at any excess tan. It's not like an instant remover or anything, but when you're ready to kind of exfoliate everything off and start again, a beautiful addition to your shower routine. If you don't tan, it's just great for things like, I've completely forgotten the name, the little bumps you get on the back of your arm. I always get those bumps like ingrowns and things on my legs. And my very favourite body wash has been the SBC Arnica and Sandalwood. But this is about to run out. Thank you for watching, and I hope I showed you a new tan that'll work really well for you.